Good afternoon, one and all, and welcome again to the second day. Welcome to the second day of our virtual career fair. This week we continue with the theme, Your Dream, Your Reality, a Virtual Possibility. I am Don Roberts, Guidance Officer 1 attached to San Fernando East Secondary School.
We have phone tree.
And I am your host today. And I want to welcome each and every one of you students to our virtual career fair. Today, we have a wonderful lineup of different providers for you. And we will begin, however, with representatives from CETAL College of Tertiary Education. But just before we bring those persons on, I want to say to all of the students that today we do have a live chat on your YouTube channel. That chat is there so that you can ask questions, you can make comments, and we will get those questions or comments over to the presenters. I want to encourage all of you to pay attention to the session. If at any point in time, anything is said that you want some clarity on, feel free to type in the chat and we will get that question over to the presenters. I also want to ask the presenters, with your permission, we may take a still shot of you while you are presenting. I trust that that is okay with you. And to all my colleagues that are online, and students and teachers and deans and principals, again, I want to welcome all of you. So without any further ado, I want to introduce the representatives from CETAL College of Tertiary Education, who will now make their presentation to you.
Hello, good afternoon, and thank you very much for that warm welcome. My name is Anne Marina White. I am the Executive Director at CETAL College, and it is my privilege to host a session on behalf of CETAL College today. My own background in education started in secondary education. I was a secondary school teacher for 9 years. I enjoyed every day, well, most days that I was a teacher. And I have been in tertiary education for the past 21 years. So I'm very pleased to bring greetings on behalf of CETAL College to the district fair. I think it's a wonderful opportunity for students, for teachers, principals, parents, to get some sort of first-hand information about what tertiary education is about, what your choices are after secondary school. And I hope that my presentation this afternoon will enlighten you, give you some food for thought, and perhaps you may make a decision after today as to what you would like to do going into the future. So what I'm going to do to make life easy, I'm going to share my screen and try to take you through a presentation that I hope will give you some basic information about CETAL College, who we are, what we do, and how you can actually become a student if you would like to become a student. So in my presentation, I'm starting off by letting you know that because of COVID-19, not a very pleasant time for the world, and we are all trying to cope as best as we can in different ways. But one of the things that has emerged in tertiary education because of COVID is how easy education is now accessible to people from all over the world. Now, CETAL College is located in Tacarigua, And we are along the East-West corridor, and I know we are very far from your district. However, with tertiary education going online, all of our programs are now accessible from anywhere within Trinidad and Tobago. And we also have a lot of students from up the islands and from various parts of the world thinking about joining CITAL College. So what I want to do this afternoon during my allotted time, I want to talk basically about planning your next move after CSEC or CAPE, and to tell you a little bit about why we think pursuing tertiary education is such a positive move for everyone. Now, in the past, people might have thought that tertiary education is only for a select few people who can only afford to study abroad, people who can only afford to study at the tertiary level. But I want to tell you that that is not the case anymore. Tertiary education is now accessible to everybody. It does not matter your background, how many people in your family might have accessed tertiary education before. I think it's really very important to begin a new trend if in your family tertiary education has never been priority. What education does and what tertiary level education does, it provides opportunities for a better quality of life. So what I'll be doing is telling you a little bit about how you can actually afford to go on to your degree, how accessible it is, how convenient it is, and how very manageable it is. And that's why I want to just talk a little bit about the different ways to access tertiary education. Traditionally, people would go to a university or think that you can only get a degree through a university. However, that has changed. It has changed maybe the last 20, 25 years with the establishment of business schools. CITAL, S-I-T-A-L, is an acronym for an old name or a school that we had before, which was School of International Travel and Languages. And as we developed into a business school, we wanted to keep the name CITAL because it was a household name, and we kept that as part of our foray into tertiary education. So basically, one, you have the opportunity to go to the university directly, or two, you have the opportunity to do some studies or tertiary level studies through a business school like ours. Okay, now people want different experiences. Students, you want different experiences. You may like a big campus, you may want to lie with your friends, all that's fine, but sometimes it may not always be possible to get into traditional universities to do your degree, and you want to start somewhere. So what I want to do, I want to go through the few steps, and you pay close attention to the steps that you need to consider, your parents need to consider, your guardians, in terms of how you can access tertiary level education. Now, most of you, the reason that you will be pursuing tertiary education is to find a good job, start a good career, start earning money, start living a life that you want for yourself. And we have to think about all the things that are so critical in acquiring those skills, what we call competencies, the knowledge, all the things that you need to be learning to make you into that professional or approach your career and job search with some qualifications in your back pocket. Okay, so it's about acquisition of skills. It's about learning. It's about your ability to grow, to be trained. And most importantly, it is about having the right attitude. So education is part of it, but you have to remember that employers are looking for people who are displaying great attitudes, okay? So what I want to tell you is that's really, really very important to plan. You need to plan. You need to sit with someone who can give you the advice, somebody who can draw out from you what you like, what do you enjoy doing, what are some of your natural tendencies, what are some of the skills you have that will make your career choice a smart career choice. There are people who will obviously follow into the traditional, so-called traditional careers like teaching and, being a lawyer, a doctor, an engineer. But what is not apparent to a lot of people is that there are so many other careers that you can get into related to business, related to a particular business discipline. You may enjoy doing science, but that doesn't mean that you have to be a scientist. You can go into any branch that you so desire. My career started in science. I was a chemistry and biology teacher for many years, and now I am running a business school. So your career can change. And it's really very important to think about, what are the things immediately you like to do? What are you good at? What would you like to study? What are some of the plans you have for yourself? Have you always wanted to travel? Have you wanted to, do you like accounts? Do you like business? Do you like marketing, customer service? Do you like numbers? Are you good at writing? All of those things you need to speak with somebody about in order for them to help you plan your career, okay? So basically, your journey towards your degree can start at CETAL College, all right? And I want to now explain to you how you can go about accessing a UK accredited degree at a fraction of the cost that it will take you to do a degree in the UK, all right? And one of the things about doing a UK degree is that it gives you, and you will know this term, global mobility. And global mobility, for those who may not be familiar with the term, it means basically it allows you to move throughout any part of the world, because this degree, a UK degree, this particular degree is transportable and it's recognized globally. Right, and so these are some of the areas that we currently offer. We are expanding our operations into new areas, but at the moment, these are the diplomas and the degrees that you can source at CETAL. There's business management with marketing, and business management with human resource management, and of course, other things such as public health management, computing qualifications, and journalism and media studies. Right, so I want you to pay attention to this diagram. If you have not been paying attention before, now is the time. Some of these words may not be familiar to many of you. What does ABE mean? All right. What is a bachelor's degree? All right. Who is University of Hertfordshire? What is a BA top-up? So this, remember earlier I said you can access a degree through the traditional university route, or you can access a degree through a business school. ABE is the Association of Business Executives, and they are a UK awarding body. The University of Hertfordshire is a UK university. We have an arrangement with both ABE and the University of Hertfordshire to allow students to move from CSEC, whether it's from CXC, whether it's CSEC or CAPE, through a successive series of qualifications. And at the end of the qualifications, they end up with a University of Hertfordshire degree. So I want to explain how this works. For students, now most of you, this is a Form 5 group, you are writing exams this year. So it means that you're going to be coming out in probably August. You're going to know whether how many CSEC passes you've got. Now, if it is that you have 4 CSEC passes, including English, you can actually start at the diploma level 4, the ABE diploma level 4, which is equivalent to the first year of a bachelor's degree. Now, normally, if you have to start a bachelor's degree, you will have to have CAPE. But in this particular structure, the ABE Diploma 4 is equivalent to the year 1 of a university degree. And this takes 1 year to complete. So do the maths. If you're 16 or 17 or 15 now, just start thinking about what age you can actually acquire your first degree, your bachelor's degree. So once you have 4 CSEC passes, including English, you can start at the diploma level. You start in September, you write exams in May next year, you get your results, and once you have passed your 4 subjects, you can go straight into Diploma 5. Diploma 5 is equivalent to the 2nd year of a university degree, all right? And again, we have 3 semester starts. Now, I'll digress a little bit in case there are any CAPE students in the audience. CAPE students do not start at Diploma 4. CAPE students will start at Diploma 5. So basically, you just do 1 year, which is, and Diploma 5 is also, you can complete it in 1 year, and then you can go on to the final year. So let's go back to CSEC students. You started Diploma 4 in September, you finished that Diploma 4 in May, June of next year. You start your Diploma 5 in September 2022. That's 1 year. And by the next year, by September 2023, you can start what is called the top-up University of Hertfordshire degree. It's only called a top-up because you would have already completed Diploma 5, and that's only going to take you 1 year. So when we talk about moving from CXC to your degree in 2 or 3 years, we are talking about CAPE students finishing your degree in 2 years, CSEC students completing your degree in 3 years. And if you have any questions, I know you can put it in the chat, and I can answer those questions subsequently. So this is to just give you a very summarized pictorial view of Diploma 4, Diploma 5, and in the final year. Of course, we're not talking about associate degree and people with associate degree here, but in the final year, you can also have people coming in from the outside into the final year once they have an associate degree. And remember, students, what I said a little while ago, this is a UK qualification. So it means that your degree is recognized globally. Now, of course, there are other courses that you can do if you're not interested in your degree. There are certificate courses that will prepare you for entry-level positions as clerical officers, administrative assistants, if you are interested in event management, in starting a career in geriatric care, that's possible. If you want to work in the medical field, or you just want to get a feel of what it is like to be in the medical field, there is a course called the Medical Administrative Assistant, which you can do. And of course, we have conversational Spanish, a range of computer literacy courses for the workplace, for people who want to just get a small feel about business skills. Let's say, for instance, that you don't have all the qualifications, or you don't want to start your diploma straight away, but you want to get a feel for what business is like. There is a 12-week course that you can do, get a feel for it, and then you can decide about going into your diploma. And then there are the flight attendant and the airline reservations courses. And, you know, with the COVID vaccine being, given to people throughout the world, you know, it's flight attendants and airline reservations and operators are going to be in demand because people will have this thirst to travel again, right? So careers are going to open up in the field eventually, and you all are young, so you can make yourselves trained and skilled so that when the opportunities become available, you can apply for jobs in the field, etc. And then the third category of courses we have for your level, because we do have MBAs for the more mature, experienced people. You can do these online courses, which are self-paced. What that means is that you would not have a lecturer, but you can do those courses online at whatever pace you would like to do it at. This is just a very small number of courses that we've put on here, but there are many, many courses. We have actually over 1,000 courses that are made available to our students. and over 50 of these courses are in IT. All right, so this is just a few that I've put on here, and it is also good to get an introduction into professional development courses, right? Many of these could be done as students in your age group, but many of these are also very good for people who are already working. Okay, so I will move on to a question that comes to me all the time. Is it possible to study and work? Do I have to choose between studying and working, or can I do both? And you would be very happy to know that over 90% of our students are working people. Over 90% of our students are working people. And I can tell you with a lot of confidence, the reason that these students are doing so well is because of the support that we provide at CETAL College. As a medium-sized school, we are able to give one-on-one support to students who need it. We have a whole support team that works completely from application right through to graduation with you, so that students are not left behind. We are very, very well known for support, and that is the major reason that so many of our students are successful. So I can tell you quite categorically, yes, you can. So if your circumstances allow you to study full-time and you want to dedicate full time to studying, that's also fine. However, there are persons who may want or who may need to work and study part-time. And that's not a bad thing, because what happens is that their work gives them the experience that helps them in their studies. And some people also need to fund their education. We have a lot of students who are moving up the career ladder because they're working, they're funding their education, and they keep going up and up and up. We have many students who started with us right after CSEC. They did their Diploma 4, they did their Diploma 5, they did their degree, their final year, 1 year, and then we have many of them who are now doing their master's degree with us. And these are people who did not study full-time at all. They all studied part-time. So it can be done. And now with online, you don't have to spend a lot of time in traffic. You don't have to be rushing after work. You could get home, have your shower, have something to eat, settle down into evening classes, and you could be in Point Fortin, you could be in San Fernando, you could be Moruga, wherever, and you could be doing your degree at CETAL College. It's got a lot more accessible. So as I approach the end, I just want to, to remind you that it's very easy to get started. Whether you want to do a short course, whether you want to do an online course on your own, whether you want to, do your degree, there are options for you. And we have a lot of course advisors on standby to speak with students from as early as this afternoon. After this session, if you want to get in touch with us, yes, you're writing exams in May, June. Some of you might be doing some things in April. The fact is, I want you to focus on your CSEC, or those of you who in the room who are doing CAPE, you need to focus on that. Focus on getting your passes, studying hard, putting your nose to the grind, and making that short sacrifice from now until exam, and see how that can translate into you getting into your tertiary education. But what I'm saying, you can still get in touch with us today, tomorrow, next week. All you have to do is send an email, and I will put in the chat in a little while. One of my support staff who is on the session with me will put in a bit a voucher that we have specially prepared for the participants of this fair, okay? So my advice, everyone, is that you need to start thinking about taking the next steps to invest in your future. Education makes the biggest difference to the quality of life that you will live the quality of life that you will want to see for yourselves, the quality of life that you may have seen other people live, and that you wonder how and what did they do to get those things, those material things, to be able to travel, to be able to buy things, to be able to be comfortable. The majority of those people have been educated. That is what they have that sets them apart. So even if you've been slacking off, I know that it's already February, and some of you are worried that you didn't do enough work and you're going to leave it too late and that sort of thing. It's never too late. You have a couple of months at least until exams start. If they have not, some of them have not started already. I don't know the schedule, but we are only in February. It is never too late to start. So you need to think about what your future holds for you, how you can access an education beyond secondary school, and put aside all the screen time that you spend on Facebook, on YouTube videos, on Netflix, or whatever young people do these days, and sacrifice for the next few months, get your passes, and make a difference to yourself. Everything is in your hands. So here's what I'm telling you. Funding your education, which might be a challenge in your mind for some people, do not make that a problem. Never make that a problem. There are always ways to get around challenges of funding. Okay? So we will do our bit. We have very affordable fees. It is a fraction of the cost, obviously, of going to study abroad. But apart from that, our fees are very affordable. And one of the things that we do, which is perhaps different from a lot of the institutions around, is that every student will pay a different monthly installment towards their fees. Let me explain what that means. Each of these courses comprises a number of modules. The modules can be done in a short space of time, in which case you will have to pay fees to cover the modules, but we make the schedule flexible so that if your money can only take you a certain way at a particular time, you have $400, $500, I'm being very practical here, to be able to afford the education, we will structure a timetable that allows you to pay what you can afford. Our main concern when it comes to students is that we do not have any barriers, any obstructions, any hurdles for students to access tertiary education. I am an educator by training. I'm not a businesswoman. I run a business, but the thing is, it's about making sure that education takes priority. The quality at the school is very high. I am very, very much a stickler for maintaining very high academic standards. My staff are very, very knowledgeable. They're very friendly. They are interested in helping people. They have a passion for education, and that is what sets us apart. So don't let the funding worry you. We know that not everybody is in the same boat, in the same position, but there are ways to get around that. And I want you to remember that. Don't let that be an obstacle. And I want to, I'm coming down to the last of my slides, is to let you know that your education is definitely going to be your passport to a better quality of life, right? Do not settle for a secondary school education at this time. In the past, some people had no choice, and they did well with their lives. They're good people, they're capable, they're smart, intelligent, but I'm talking about now. You're 15, 16, 17 years old. You have the rest of the future ahead of you. So what you need to do is that you need to buckle down, focus on your CSEC, get those passes, consider how and what you need to do to make it out there and to make a better quality of life for yourself. Now, this is prior to COVID, obviously, and this is a small group of students who were having a session with a tutor, and these students actually had just come out of CSEC. This is a group of CSEC students who were studying. One of these days we'll be able to do these, to have students like this again, but as it is from now, we are just having people online. This is just 3 of the many friendly faces of CETAL College staff, all right? And those smiles are actually genuine, that's how they are. And we are always happy to welcome, talk to students, and you know, and see what we can do for them, all right? This is how we may have to see you for the next few months, well, when you come to CETAL College on Zoom for a little bit. All right, and these are some of our lecturers actually and staff. We were having a staff meeting, and this is the image I could have captured at this point in time. So this is how we will be seeing you if you do decide to come to CETAL College this year. And hopefully when COVID has been sorted, when we've had our vaccines, when we no longer have to be as careful, because you always have to be careful, we will be able to have students come face to face and also online. So we'll have a combination of face to face and online classes. All right, this is just to give you a little bit of a, you know, incentive. This is when we were able to hold graduations in person. This year we are holding our graduation virtually. And hopefully next year we will not have to hold our graduation virtually. This is one Marcia in yellow providing support, help to a student. Marcia is one of our student advisors. And this was a photograph taken a couple of years ago. These are MBA graduates taking a photograph of themselves. So students, in closing, I want to thank you and thank the District Fair organizers for inviting us to speak and to share a little bit about what we do at CETAL College. By the way, we'll be 30 years next year, so we have been in the business of education for a very long time. And we would be very, very happy to sit with you either on WhatsApp, on a Zoom call, on a Zoom meeting, or on a telephone, and map a career path for you. This is something that you just have to request, and one of my course advisors will contact you and speak with you over the phone or have a Zoom meeting with you. So these are our, this is our contact information. We do a lot of communication by WhatsApp these days. Those of you who have an email address or who want to communicate with us via email. So I would suggest students that you take a screenshot of this, and I will also make available in the chat, and I will ask one of my staff members to put it in the chat. I will just stop sharing my screen, and I will ask one of my staff members to put in the chat a voucher, which is for every participant of this fair to redeem. And the voucher is I hope everybody is seeing the voucher. So if you just download the voucher, you may have to download it and save it onto your computer. And if though, for those of you who are not able to download and save, we will send a voucher to the fair organizers and they can share it with all participants. And basically, I will try to put up a copy of the voucher. Just bear with me a little bit. I'm going to try to pull up a copy of the voucher so that you can see what the voucher is about. Okay, just 1 second. In the meantime, you can write your questions, submit your questions, and I will be happy. I think I have about 5 minutes more to talk.
Yes, thank you very much. So while we're getting the voucher up, one person asked a question, and I really just want to share it on behalf of the student. Do you all do any courses in psychology?
Not at the moment, not in psychology, unfortunately, not yet. But what is going to happen next year, we're going to be expanding the curriculum in psychology. has been a very, very popular request, but not at the moment, unfortunately. But what I can suggest is that the students stays in tune with our Facebook page. We have a lot of information that is shared on Facebook, and who knows, you may have a degree in psychology coming out by September of next year.
Okay, thank you. And another question, there are a number of students who often speak about becoming a flight attendant.
Yes.
Can you just share with the students what the training entails?
Yes, of course. So to become a flight attendant, the qualifications for flight attendants are really very much based on the airline that they are applying to work with. Now, our program is a flight attendant training course. And basically, this particular course was developed by a Canadian institute, and we have been given the authority to utilize their material, all their examinations, etc., for our course. The students will get a local certification from CETAL College. So what that course does, it prepares you for the job as a flight attendant, and it includes things like aviation, the aviation industry. It talks a bit about airline geography, emergency procedures on a plane, how to serve, all those things that you see flight attendants doing. Now, in order to get a job as a flight attendant, this course does not guarantee a job as a flight attendant. Like every other course you do, it adds to your CV and provides an opportunity for you to be more marketable. Now, a number of the airlines require CXC passes. Some of them want a first degree. And of course, you need things like first aid and swimming. A student who is interested in becoming a flight attendant should first of all identify or contact the airlines, or go onto the page of the airlines to look and see what the qualifications required to become a flight attendant are. Once they've seen that and they feel that our course could add to their skills, about adding skills and competencies, then we would welcome them to do the course. But it's really very important for me to point out that this is not a job placement like everything else. We offer business courses, we offer IT courses. We do not guarantee any job, and we cannot say that this is a prerequisite for joining the airlines as a flight attendant. But go on to CAL, Caribbean Airlines page, go on to American Airlines page, go on and look and see what are some of the requirements for being a flight attendant. And then, you start mapping your career from there.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
I have two questions.
Mm-hmm.
So one student wants to find out if you all have music courses, and another one wants to find out if you have forensic photography.
No, unfortunately, those are not programs that we have at the moment. Our main, most of our programs are professional development, academic programs for business, IT, journalism, those areas. But we are finding, to be quite honest, an increasing number of people wanting to do TVET type courses, technical vocational type courses, courses that will allow you to do embark on photography careers and those kinds of things. So not at the moment, but those are things that we like to hear, because it gives us a feel for what the younger students are requiring.
What about graphic design? Will that fall into that bracket also?
That will fall under IT, and there are IT courses in graphic design that the students can do online through us. So I would suggest that they go on to our website. It's Crystal can put the website on the chat, and go onto the website, click under self-paced online courses. And when you go into the self-paced online courses, there are, as I see, over 50 courses in IT and related areas: graphic design, web page design, all those kinds of things. So it's CETAL, www.cetalcollege.com. Go under self-paced courses and you will be able to pull up there. So, you know, in terms of the psychology question, I should really tell you about that as well. If you go on to the online self-paced courses, there are courses related to psychology that you will find there. We do not teach those programs, but a lot of the programs that we do not teach are online.
Okay.
So I have one more question. Someone wants to know what about mechanical engineering?
No, unfortunately, no mechanical engineering at this point in time.
Okay. Any more questions, students? No, I think, okay. It seems as though the question was answered. Mister, we want to thank you so much for sharing with us the various programs and opportunities offered at your institution. And for me, one of the points that you made very early is that we should not allow money or financial situation to prevent us from moving forward. And I want to thank you for that bit of advice. Students, again, the voucher is up, as well as you can continue to send questions to 789-3806. Use a WhatsApp number. That's a WhatsApp number that you can send questions to. As we thank CETAL for their information, and at the same time, we welcome Mr. Joseph and his team, who are representing MIC Institute of Technology. So we make a quick transition from CETAL to MIC and Mr. Joseph and his team, and they will take it from there.
Is Miss Joseph done? Miss Joseph.
Yes. Oh, my humblest apologies. Miss Joseph, I am so sorry. Miss Joseph and her team. So while we await Miss Joseph to come on, I just want to remind the students that on your live chat, you are able to send questions and ask and make your comments. And we most certainly will share that information or that questions with the presenter. And we remind everyone to use the chat for the purpose intended, as we all seek to benefit from this experience. So thank you again. Thank you again, CETAL, and Ms. Joseph and her team. You are welcome, and you can go right ahead.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to share the information, and good luck to the students in the upcoming exams.
Thank you. Thank you, Miss.
Good afternoon, young ladies and young gentlemen. I am Vegata Joseph, Miss Vegata Joseph, and I will be speaking to you today about MICIT. I have the pleasure of presenting to you all the services that we at MIC have to offer. So this afternoon, we are going to start firstly by sharing a short video, and then I will go into my PowerPoint presentation explaining a little bit more. Okay, guys, so that video was just to give a little insight into the company before I go a little more in depth into what we have to offer. So, as I said, I am here today to show you that your dreams and your reality are virtually possible at MICIT. So, at this stage, you're in Form 4 and 5, you may be wondering what's next? What direction do I go to? Um, is skills training the direction that I need to go? I'm going to write CXC now. What is the best decision for me to make as it relates to skills training? So I'm going to start by giving you a little history of MICIT. So our company was established in the year 1974. We possess the only tool and die workshop in the country, and we provide support to the manufacturing sector via production and design of tool dies and molds. Most importantly, MICIT is an agency of the Ministry of Education. We provide technical and vocational or skills training, industry services, and construction services. And the vision of our company is as follows. We at MICIT, our vision is to be the catalyst for developing technical and vocational competencies for national and regional industries through quality training, innovation, manufacturing, construction, and engineering products and services. So we are going to focus on the training and services that we have to offer. And as I said before, we provide training in construction, manufacturing, energy, hospitality and tourism, and craft. And we offer training via these programs. We offer training through HYPE, also known as Helping You Prepare for Employment, MUST, which is the Multi-Sector Skills Training Program, ICP, which is the Industrial Craft Program, NSDP, which is the National Skill Development Program, and we also have our newly established Short Courses Department. So I have a lot of information that I'm going to share with you today, and I may be moving a bit quickly, but I want you all to feel free to write down your questions, and I will respond to them as best as possible to the end of my presentation, okay? So for years, skills training, there has been a stigma attached to skills training. And it has been viewed as the program that the not so smart people do, or if this boy or this girl not doing too good in school, let them go and learn a skill. And today I beg to differ with that view and with that stigma. We have been forced to work at home. A lot of us are working from home and going to school at home. And I want you to look at the structure that you are presently sitting in. Would you be sitting in that structure? Would you be comfortable sitting in that structure without being able to think that the person who built it had the skills and competencies and expertise training? You think about it. So let's firstly discuss HYPE. So HYPE was established in 2002. It is a government-sponsored program designed to train and develop young individuals in skills, knowledge, and abilities to be self-supporting. HYPE is a hands-on program which focuses mainly on practical skills training. The courses offered are carpentry, masonry, plumbing, welding, electrical installation, air conditioning, and refrigeration. The course is a 9-month program. Certification is provided via the Caribbean Vocational Qualification. You get a level 1 certificate. And this program is designed for students between the ages of 16 to 25 years. Think of anything happening in our country. So we just experienced a pandemic, or we are still experiencing a pandemic. And what this pandemic has brought to light is who the essential people are. And one of the first set of people who were allowed to go back out to work were the skilled tradesmen, along with the frontline staff. It is important to take note that our skilled tradesmen are very important, right? The next program I will discuss is the MUST program, or the Multi-Sector Skills Training Program. Now, this program was launched in 2004. It was also designed to meet the social needs and nurture skill development. This program offers certification in level 1 hospitality and tourism and level 2 construction. Ideally, the MUST program allows students to transition smoothly from HYPE, which is level 1, to MUST, which is level 2. MUST is also a practically based program, and within this program, you are placed within the industry for training. So you are placed with our industry partners for training. The following courses are what are offered within the hospitality and tourism course. So you have general office administration, that is for office to become an office clerk, commercial food preparation, housekeeping to be a houseman, housekeeping room attendants, housekeeping laundry attendants, front office, bread, cake and pastry making, property maintenance, food and beverage, that's bar services, and food and beverage restaurant service. Our core courses for construction are in the field of electrical installation, welding, plumbing, carpentry, and masonry. So for the persons who may be interested in working in the industry, you want to work on whatever plant, you want to be involved in doing things with your hands, these are the courses geared towards those career. Crop production core courses. We offer courses in production systems, irrigation systems, preparation of land for cultivation, installing and constructing irrigation systems, cultivating crops, rabbit rearing, plant propagation activities, harvesting of crops, marketing produce, communicating with stakeholders, budgeting and financing, and practicing HSE. One of the things I remember as a young person being in Form 4 and 5 is that the careers that were pushed to us were mostly being an attorney or being a doctor. But it's important to also note that the field of agriculture is also a successful career path. It is very important to the economy of Trinidad and Tobago, especially in these times. And it's important to take a look at these courses and what they may have to offer you. So the MUST program is a 9-month program. And as I said before, you get certification via the CVQ level 1 and level 2. Your CVQ allows you to work anywhere in the Caribbean. So this is training at anywhere in the Caribbean. You can work anywhere in the Caribbean. Our courses at MICIT are also accredited by the Accreditation Council of Trinidad and Tobago, and our courses are also GATE approved. So for each course that I just gave you information on before, the fees for them are GATE approved. All you would have to contribute is your $100 registration fee for the MUST and the HYPE program. Next, I'm going to discuss with you the ICP program, or the Industrial Craft Program. So the ICP program started in the year 2006. It was designed to fill the gap between the skilled and unskilled individuals in the country. And it was our goal to provide industry-ready craftsmen. Now, this program offers both practical and theory-based learning. And the programs offered in this program are air conditioning and refrigeration, auto and diesel, bookbinding and print finishing, dressmaking and design, electrical installation, food prep, general draftsmanship, industrial instrumentation, jewelry, plumbing, tailoring, and welding. Now, I know for sure that we would have some business students who would be involved in this career fair as well. And I want you all to also take note because these courses can also be related to you. These can be the courses that could push you forward as it relates to entrepreneurship and being your own boss. So the ICP program is a 2-year full-time program, and certification is given by the NEC or the National Examination Council, and this is a diploma level course. This program is geared to individuals between the age of 16 and over. The registration fee for this course is only $500, right? So that is the ICP program. Next, we will have the NSDP or the National Skills Development Program. Now, this program was developed in 1994. It adapts to the German model of technical training. Now, what that means is this program or this system makes use of technical vocational training and hands-on training in factories and industries. So what you do is you do the theory part of the program where you are at the center. And for the South persons, our centers are Pleasantville, Pinal, and Point Fortin, right? So we have 3 centers that are available to service you, and you can choose the center that is closest and most convenient to you. So you are at the center within the NSDP program where you do your theoretical training, and then you will do the hands-on training at whether it be an industry or a factory, right? So in this way, both your theory and practical skills will be developed. So you would not only have the theory or the book work, but you would also be able to have the hands-on training with this program. The core courses for the NSDP program are joinery, the journeyman program, the master craftsman program, mechanical engineering and technology with steel pan manufacturing, green tech facility, right? The NSDP program is a 3-year program. And as I said, 2 years of the program, you will be, well, during the first year, you will be at your center. And in the second year of training, you will be attached to an industry for the apprenticeship phase, where you would be receiving hands-on training within the industry. This program, the NSDP program, is geared towards individuals between the ages of 17 to 25 years old. So from the time you are finished writing CXC, we are ready and willing to accept you within our NSDP program, right? Your certification would be provided by MICIT and the German Chamber of Crafts, and you receive a diploma from the NSDP program. Last but not least, we have the newly established short courses department within MIC. And these courses are not only geared towards professional development, but it's also geared towards overall development. So very soon you will complete your CSEC exams, and you may be looking for something to add to your resume between the time that you make the decision as to what direction you would be going next. And these short courses are a good way to make use of your time within that space. So we have courses like the use of PowerPoint for persons who may be interested in office administration, introduction to digital literacy. We have office administration, We have strategic marketing for small business. We have entrepreneurial skills and how to start a small business. Now, starting your own business is not limited to any age. So there's nothing that says you have to be 35 to start your own business. So now is the time to give yourself the skills that will be required to fast track you towards starting your own business. We have courses in welding and fabrication. We have a beginner's course in cabinet making. We have renewable energy courses, solar energy, and introduction into wind turbine technology. We have introduction to the hospitality industry. We have our craft and garment courses, our culinary courses. And to get more information on all that I have explained to you today, you can feel free to visit us at our website, mic.co.tt. You can also visit us on Facebook and on Instagram. All the forms that would be required to sign up for our courses are available on our website, which is mic.co.tt. And you can also get more information on Facebook and on Instagram.
Okay.
So, any questions that you all have for me now, feel free to ask your questions.
Ms. Joseph, a student asked a question earlier concerning mechanical engineering. Do you all have any engineering programs?
So, within our NSDP program, we offer the diploma in mechanical engineering, but this is at the diploma level.
All right. Okay, thank you. Let's see. And one person.
Can you repeat again? I don't remember if you said it. What's the entry requirement for MIC, please?
So our ICP and NSDP program requires maths, English, and a science subject for both programs.
Okay, thank you.
And Miss, you mentioned during the presentation, you made mention about Chamber of Commerce in Germany. Is it that your institution is affiliated with institutions in Germany?
Yes, we are. So the NSDP program, the development of the NSDP program was done in collaboration with MIC and the German Chamber of Crafts and Trades. So the NSDP program specifically, certification is provided by the German Chamber of Crafts and Trades. So we are affiliated with the German Chamber of Crafts and Trades.
So does that mean, can I therefore conclude that if a student were to complete one of the programs and gets that certificate, that they are then deemed qualified to practice in Germany?
The course is certified by the German Chamber. To practice per se, I don't want to give you too much wrong information, but I would presume we are, once we are certified by them that you will be able to work within Germany. There is also further certification that is provided, which would be the Master Craftsman program that will allow you for sure to work within Germany.
Wow. I think that's a wonderful opportunity for young people. And can you just repeat? I think you made mention of it. You still have the journeyman program?
Yes, we do.
Can you just explain again what the journeyman program is and how, what does that say when someone is qualified as a journeyman and above? What does that say about their skill competence in the industry?
So a journeyman within the NSDP program is provided with skills in electronics, mechanical, electronics, and welding. So you enter into the world of work as what we may call an apprentice. So you are trained all around to function within the industry. The NSDP program is a program that offers the journeyman program, and within this program, you are allowed to do the technical or the theory part of the training in the company, and then you have hands-on training within the industry. So with the journeyman program, you are a cut above the rest when you are entering into the industry.
Wow, that is good news. That's good news. I would give way if any of the other students or my colleagues have questions from students. We'll just give them a couple of minutes.
Hi, good afternoon, Ms. Joseph. So some other questions are coming in and students are asking about music. If you have anything with regards to music and CVQ programs. Another question is the age requirement and okay, answer those and then I'll tell you the others. So some questions are coming in. So those are the 3 questions and I'll let you know the others. Ms. Joseph? Hi, Ms. Joseph.
I am here.
Yes.
Sorry about that. Okay, so our high program has a music component, but that is at our High Pleasantville and O'Meara centers. So we do level 1 within the Hype program. We also have within the NSDP program, but that is more within steel pan technology, the music component as well. So the Hype program has music as a component at our Pleasantville and MIC and O'Meara centers, sorry. And within the NSDP program, we have steel pan technology.
Okay, thank you. Any programs, any CVQ programs? That was another question.
So our must and our hype programs are CVQ programs. So hype offers CVQ level 1 and must offers CVQ level 2. I hope I'm answering the right question as it relates to the CVQ.
Can you repeat the age requirement for the benefits of the students, please? Is it 17 to 25? I think I heard you say that. Ms. Joseph?
Hello?
Hi, Ms.
Hi,
Joseph.
I
Did
do
you hear the other
apologize.
question?
Are you hearing
That's
me clearly
okay.
now?
Yes,
Okay.
I am. So they wanted to find out about the age upon entry. Is it 17 to 25? I think I heard you mention
hype
that.
is 16 to 25. Must is 17 to 50. ICP is 16 years and over. And NSDP is 17 to 25 years.
Thank you.
No problem.
There is a culinary arts program that you offer, am I correct, at the Pleasantville Center?
Yes, there is. That is within
Okay.
the ICP program, and we also have hospitality and tourism within the MUST program.
Okay, thanks.
So I take it that you have programs tailored to meet different category of students.
Yes, we do.
Yes.
So,
and that is, mhm.
yes. So we cater to every form of skills training. Any form of skills training, whether it be construction, hospitality and tourism, mechanical engineering, all form of skills training, you can get it at MICIT at any level. So you can start all the way at the bottom from having no qualifications to all the way to the top, to having your diploma.
Oh, very good. And I know that this program, this session caters for students, but these students also have parents that they can, and other adult in their household that they can share the information with. I just want to ask one question, just to push the envelope just a little bit. Persons who would have had a skill, but were never really certified in that skill. Now, of course, I know that doesn't necessarily refer to our student population, but more the older adults, so maybe their parents or so. They have a skill, but they were never really certified. Can they come to MIC to be evaluated and then certified?
Right. So what you are speaking about is the workforce assessment program. But that's not a program that I discussed today, but yes, they can. So the workforce assessment program is exactly what you said. Skilled persons who were not certified can come into MIC and we will certify you based on your skill level.
Okay, great. Well, Ms. Joseph, I want to thank you so much for the information you shared with us today. I think that it goes a long way. And for the students listening, I know that all students can find a place in one of the many, many training programs managed by MIC, and I want to thank you. And what is so good is that you have a campus right in the midst of our area, right in Pleasantville there. Can students get all of the different programs that you offer at the Pleasantville Center, or are there some programs that are just not offered at the Pleasantville Center?
Actually, at this moment, all of our programs are being offered at the Pleasantville Center.
Great, that's great.
So
that's good news.
Students can feel free to go onto our Facebook page, our Instagram page, and our website, mic.co.tt, to get the forms to sign up for the courses.
Okay, students, there you have it. There you have it. Very detailed explanation of the various programs offered at MIC. And the good news is that the campus is located right in Pleasantville, so that all of you students can easily access this particular institution once you think it meets your academic and career objectives. Ms. Joseph, we want to thank you very much for being with us. And I trust that after today, you will have a flood of inquiries from our students asking you far more questions than they did today, and possibly choosing your institution to continue their education come September. Thank you very, very, very much.
Thank you so much for having me, and all the best to the young individuals who are on today. All the best in your future endeavors.
Right. Thank you. There you have it, students. We just concluded wonderful information session with Ms. Joseph and her team at MIC Institute of Technology. At this time, we are getting ready to engage with representatives from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, Lieutenant Manswell and his team. So they are carded to be on at 2:30. So for the moment, we are going to give you a short break. Don't go far, stay tuned, and we will resume momentarily. Hi, students. Welcome back. Welcome back. And good afternoon to all as we continue our virtual career fair. My name is Don Roberts, Guidance Officer 2. Sorry, I'm State, Guidance Officer 1, attached to San Fernando East Secondary School. And I want to welcome each and every one of you as we continue with our virtual career fair. As we get ready to introduce the representative from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force, I just want to remind our students of what we expect of you. Now, we have the live chat open. The chat is there so that you can ask questions as the representative make their presentation. So please, as the chat is open, please use the chat responsibly. We are asking all of you to allow your comments to be respectful, that you use appropriate language, that you avoid humor or sarcasm, and at the end of the day, that you represent yourself and your parents the way in which will make them proud. Okay, so you have the live chat to ask questions. We also have for you a WhatsApp number through which you can also ask questions, and that number is 789-3806. That's 789-3806. At this time, I want to introduce to you Lieutenant Manswell from the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. I know a number of students, whenever you ask students, so what would you like to be in the future? You always have someone saying, well, I want to be a soldier. I want to be a Coast Guard. I want to be in the Air Guard. Well, we ask everyone to pay close attention as we invite and welcome Lieutenant Manswell, who will now spend the next few minutes sharing with us the all about the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force and how you can make the Defense Force your career. So without further ado, I hand over to Lieutenant Manswell.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mr. Roberts, for that warm introduction. As Mr. Roberts would have said, I am Lieutenant Sharon Manswell. I am the Public Affairs Officer for the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. My presentation more or less will just cover a bit of the history of the force. We will cover the various requirements to join the force. We'll cover the various positions and careers within the force, and also I will just give you a brief overview, a small overview of what everybody wants to know when they join the force. What is the salary? So usually I would start with the presentation and given the history and so on, but I will start with a few videos as first, and then I will take you into the presentation, and you'll be able to be excited about what I'm going to present to you after you see these videos. All right, so bear with me. Let me just load it up and we'll get started.
You have a number. Give me his number quick.
All right. So I hope you enjoy those videos. Let me put on my camera so you can see my face for the first time. All right, good afternoon, everybody. Lieutenant Manswell, Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force Public Affairs Officer. I want to thank you for looking at those videos and the invitation to be here and do the presentation to you guys. Is everybody hearing me?
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Great. I understood that there were some problems with the audio. I do apologize for that. I just muted my mic on my screen because I thought that it would have been a little disruption, but I apologize if you guys didn't hear everything, but I hope you enjoy the videos nonetheless, right? Well, a little bit of the history of the force. The Defense Force was established as a prerequisite condition for Trinidad and Tobago to gain independence from British rule. So the regiment and the Coast Guard were the formations that were established or commissioned in 1962. And I'll give you the dates and so on as we go along. So the Defense Force is made up of 4 formations: the regiment, the Coast Guard, the Air Guard, and the reserves. We are well over 5,000 persons at this time, but I know for sure we're not below the 5,000 mark there. So Air Guard didn't give me, not Air Guard, HR didn't give me the exact figure, but I know we're above 5,000 military service personnel in the force at this time. So these are the 4 flags, ensigns, insignias, whatever you want to call it, of the Defense Force that represents the formations, right? The regiment, the Coast Guard, the Air Guard, and the reserves. All right, so if you see any of these flags anywhere, you could identify which formation is in the location that you are at that time. Right, so the roles and responsibilities of the force includes defend the sovereign good of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We assist the civil power in maintaining law and order. We assist civil authorities in times of crisis or disaster. So when you see there's flooding in Trinidad, remember the flooding in Greenvale 3 years ago, not just Greenvale, but all across Trinidad and Tobago. The Defense Force was one of the first responders to go out and provide disaster aid relief during that time, right? Of course, we do ceremonial functions, which means a lot of parades, we host events, and these different things. Of course, we do prevention of trafficking of narcotics and other illegal goods. monitor the safety of shipping and national waters, and assist in the development of the national community. All right, so as I was saying before, a little bit of history of each formation. The regiment was commissioned on the 23rd of July, 1962. All right, they were, of course, commissioned for Trinidad and Tobago to gain independence, along with the Coast Guard, which was commissioned on August 27th, 1962. All right, 6 officers, 42 ratings. As you can see, I try to show some pictures that depicts what the Coast Guard looks like, both on and offshore. Right, the Air Guard, which was part of the Coast Guard as the Air Wing, was commissioned on the 1st of August, 2005. Right, the Air Wing was established in 1966, but the Air Guard, based on the commission by the president at that time, commissioned the formation on August 1st, 2005. Right, the reserves, resilient, effective, and dependable. They were commissioned on September 26, 1963. So they are capable of providing reinforcement and be a force multiplier in the event that the defense force is called upon to carry out roles of aid to the civil power. So as you can see depicted here, they are recognized easily by their red berets, all right, beret. So mine is blue, hopefully you can see that. And the reserves are recognized by their red beret, all right? So some of the careers in the Defense Force, namely the regiment, includes rifle from infantry, administration, logistics, and engineers. So no matter your skill set, whether you are someone who is academically inclined, you can be part of the logistics team, part of the administration team, right? If you have a special skill set, whether you are AC technician, a mechanic, a plumber, electrician, all these are careers that you can have in the Defense Force, because it's not just about parades and going in on the lines to fighting disaster relief and criminal elements. We still have administration and logistics to take care of, to provide food, to provide clerical work, you know, so persons' personal files and stuff must be up to date and so on. So persons who are, who, of course, I'm just gonna throw this out there for everyone here listening, Form 5s. I know you guys will be passing all your exams and looking to join the Defense Force and become an important part of the regiment, Coast Guard, Air Guard, or reserves. But these are some of the options available to you at the regiment. Similarly, in the Coast Guard, we do have the same basic careers from administration, operations, port security, engineering. Similarly, we do have persons, we do recruit persons who are technically sound, so mechanics, AC technicians, plumbers. We even have persons who do carpentry, but we call them shipwrights in the Coast Guard. I mean, when you get a chance to dive into more of the terminologies, you'll see that we use different things. So for instance, we would say galley instead of kitchen. So instead of saying kitchen, we say galley. Instead of saying left, we say port. Instead of saying right, we say starboard, right? So all these little intricate details, once you do decide to join the Coast Guard and you are accepted, or the Defense Force, whichever formation you choose, you'll be up to date with all these information, right? All right, the Air Guard, and I would say that across the force, the careers are very similar. There are some variations based on the formation that you do choose. For instance, with the Air Guard, it's very focused on aviation, right? And aviation mechanics and technicians and these kind of things. So in essence, if you do decide that you want to be an aviation mechanic or aircraft mechanic, the Air Guard is an option for you, all right? So also in the Coast Guard, we have specialty positions, right? So for instance, we have doctors, lawyers, nurses, engineers, pilots, project management specialists. We have psychologists, accountants, information technology specialists, public affairs like myself, logisticians, and human resource management managers. All right, so these are just some of the other careers available, specialist careers available in the Defense Force. And I will show you the three different streams to join the force, which is my next slide, an enlisted rank, officer cadet, or special service commissioned officer, right? And I will explain the requirements of them in my next slide. So for the enlisted rank, persons, the age requirement is 18 to 25, 5 CXC passes, which must include maths and English, all right? You can have a technical certificate, whether it be in plumbing, mechanics, AC technicians, whatever the case may be, from a recognized institution, all right? And you will be able to apply to join the Defense Force through the enlisted ranks. Officer cadets, the age requirement is similar, but there's an additional educational requirement where you have a minimum of 2 A-level subjects, of course, including general paper, and an associate degree. A degree will, of course, be an asset, but we do allow for associate degrees and A-level persons to join as an officer cadet. For a special service commissioned officer, however, the age requirement is different. It's from the age of 24 to 42, sorry. Of course, here's where you must have a bachelor's degree in the relevant field that they advertise for and a minimum of 3 years working experience. Now, working experience is also in a managerial position, because in some of these vacancies that they advertise for, they're expecting you to take a leadership position, whether it be a manager or a supervisor position, as soon as you join the organization, right? So myself, I am a special service commissioned officer. I have, this year will be 5 years service, and I would have worked before joining the Defense Force in various ministries in Trinidad and Tobago government. So there was a vacancy for a public affairs officer. I went through various screening processes, which were a physical assessment, leadership assessment, 2 interviews, and a medical. So, and at each, for both the officer cadets and the enlisted ranks, for the enlisted rank, you have 1 interview, and the officer cadets, you have 2 interviews. So it's very similar in that regard, just 1 interview for the enlisted rank, right? But the physical requirement, as you all would know, is how many push-ups you could do in 2 minutes, how many sit-ups you could do in 2 minutes, and how fast you can run 2 miles, right? That is the basic fitness requirement and assessment to join the Defense Force. If you're unable to do those 3 things within, of course, it'll be based on your age and your sex, female or male. It will affect your score and allow you to pass on to the next stage of the assessment, right? I just want to give a brief overview of the structure, the rank structure of the force, the equivalency across each formation. And this will kind of guide as to give you an understanding of if you join as a enlisted rank or if you join as a officer or officer cadet or a special service officer, all right? So as you can see, I wouldn't go through all, but just for instance, my rank is a lieutenant in the Coast Guard with 2 bars, as you can see here. Similarly, the rank that is my similar rank is a captain, right? That is with 3 of the little pips that you see there under the regiment, and under the Air Guard is flight lieutenant. And the equivalency is the same for the different ranks as you go up in rank, okay? Right, so this here is what we call the commission officers of the rank above colonel, captain, or group captain. So we recently, Trinidad and Tobago made history by promoting our current CDS, substantive CDS, who is now an Air Vice Marshal, Darrell Daniel. He was before Air Commodore, but now he's an Air Vice Marshal, which is the similar rank as a Major General or a Rear Admiral. So he's a 2-star. Well, if you want to compare it to America, he's a 2-star general at this time, right? So, and then of course, the rank before Brigadier General, Commodore, Air Commodore, they are all the same, but the highest rank in the Defense Force ever achieved is Major General, Rear Admiral, and Air Vice Marshal, right? And if you join the Defense Force as an officer cadet, because that is the stream you will join to reach a rank like this, because for me, I cannot reach a rank at this high based on my stream that I came through as a special service officer, because these officers here are career officers that will reach this rank of Major General, Rear Admiral, Air Vice Marshal, Brigadier General, Commodore, or Air Commodore, all right? Now, a lot of persons usually wants to know what the salaries are for the Defense Force, and this is just a brief overview, right? So junior non-commissioned officer, which is the enlisted rank, as a recruit, you will start off at 183 and end at 385 at the rank of a leading seaman or a full corporal, both in the regiment and the reserves and the air guard, sorry. Senior non-commissioned officer as a petty officer or a sergeant, and you go up that rank, 407 to 591, and this is per day. So much, and we work 365 days for the year, but so that's every day of the month for the entire year. That's how we get paid, right? And commissioned officers as an officer cadet, you could go from 214 to 824. All right, sorry about that. Questions, comments? This brings me to the end of my presentation. I do hope you enjoyed the information that I just shared, and I hope that you have a better understanding of how to join the Defense Force, what are the requirements to join, what are the educational requirements, physical requirements, the career path you could take, and what is expected of you when you get into the force. So thank you very much for the courtesy of your attention.
Thank you, Lieutenant Manswell. Questions? I noticed that you said that to join as the enlisted, at the enlisted rank is 5 O-levels. So you don't, is it with specific subject requirements or just any 5?
Any 5.
Any 5.
Usually, if you don't have the 5 CXC subjects, but you have maths and English and technical subject from a recognized institute, you will be able to apply still based on that skill set that you have and the requirement of the Defense Force at that time.
May I ask you this question?
Yeah, sure.
Serving in any of the formation, is it a rewarding experience?
Yeah, I would definitely say so. For instance, me personally, being able to interact with a lot of youths across Trinidad and Tobago. Now that it's being done virtually, prior to this, we would have visited various institutions, speak with them one-on-one, you know, encourage some of the youths to think about a career path in the Defense Force that, you know, could change their lives, whether they believe it's hard or not. It is a life-changing experience. Then, of course, persons who are doing disaster relief operations, helping persons every day, well, not every day, in situations where they would have suffered a crisis. The Defense Force will go out there and try to manage these crises and ensure that everyone is taken care of. So we do get a lot of respect. Even during the pandemic, there were a lot of food donations that would have been a part of distributing to a lot of non-government organizations across Trinidad and Tobago. So it is very rewarding.
Okay. And now I want you to speak to this issue of character. Oftentimes in schools, again, joining the military often seems to be a big wish by a number of young people. Do you all look at an individual's character, their attitude, or their past behavior and so forth in choosing prospective members of the Defense Force?
Definitely. We do have an intelligence office that would seek to find information, past and present, of the persons that are being recruited. Now, in most cases, it goes back way back into your history, as far as humanly possible for your age, and they would find out basically what you are like. In school, at home, in the community, if you do extracurricular activities, these kind of things. So your character is one that should reflect, reflect good judgment, proper behavior, etiquette, these kind of things, And sometimes, of course, circumstances may allow for your behavior to change in a direction that is not favorable. But I mean, at the end of the day, everybody has a choice to make. And if you choose to walk the right path, the Defense Force will take you no matter what.
All right. A student asked, how is the Coast Guard able to do their field work given the present pandemic situation? And I can also push that in terms of training. Are you all training persons even during this particular pandemic?
Yes, we are. So during the pandemic, of course, like every other organization, we had to adhere to the Ministries of Health guidelines and regulations and protocols. So we wear a mask, we do our social distancing, we quarantine persons, especially if we're on operations out at sea. There's an area that we will quarantine persons on if we do an interception. So we are following the guidelines given by the Ministry of Health. Also at this time, we are in the process of training recruits right now, and we have created a bubble for them. So there's no interaction with those persons. If you're outside of the bubble, there's no way inside that bubble at this point in time, because we try to avoid any contamination of that bubble to spread the virus at all. So yeah, we are training persons, and we do have a bubble for each of the, because right now it's Coast Guard, Air Guard, and Reserve, and Coast Guard, Air Guard, and Regiment in recruit training right now.
Okay. Another student asks a question: do Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force deploy troops to war zones?
In recent time, there has not been a request of the Defense Force in Trinidad to go on the front line of a war, based on the fact that we are in the Caribbean and our immediate remit is to provide support to the neighboring Caribbean islands, which we all know not fighting any wars right now. But if there are disasters, earthquake, volcanoes, flooding, in hurricanes, in any of these, our neighboring islands, we do deploy troops to those islands to give disaster relief support.
I want to go back to a point you were making when you're talking about character. Today, a lot of young people deem getting tattoos and so forth as a fashionable thing. How does the Defense Force do they have any requirements as far as tattoos and so forth? Does that cannot impede your entry into the Defense Force?
In times past, persons were given some leniency to have tattoos on their bodies and still be recruited based on where the tattoos are, what the tattoo represents, how big the tattoos are at the time. I would say, however, there's no approved policy on wearing tattoos on your body. But at this time, persons do have tattoos. They do get tattoos while in service. It's just about discretion and, you know, putting the tattoos in places that is not overly out there, right? So that's what I can say for that.
Okay. I'm going to open it up. Any of my other colleagues online and any other student have any questions that they wish to pose?
Okay, so I am seeing a student said, if you're interested in being a pilot, would you need special training? And if so, what kind? And the follow-up question to that also, if you have a medication condition that has been corrected, would that affect your chances of being a pilot?
If your medical condition is corrected, you're good to go. I don't see that as being an issue. Once you have all the clearance to start training or the process of recruitment, I don't see that as a challenge. For being a pilot, however, of course, you will be asked whether or not you have some experience, whether it be at an aviation school where pilots could go, civilian pilots could go to learn basic flying or get flying hours, them kind of thing. So you would be asked if you have some sort of experience in the matter. But the AirGuard also allows the persons to get training to fly the assets that they have.
Okay, one student, if a student wants to get some more information or to speak to someone directly in the Defense Force, maybe your office, or they want to, what number, how can they get to speak to someone to learn more about the Defense Force?
Well, they can reach out to the Public Affairs Office at the Defense Force, and that number is 634-1996. 634-1996. My staff is quite knowledgeable, and they can assist any person who calls to find out any more information about joining the force, being a part of it, what the requirements, expectations, and so on.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I wanted to find out if someone who would have tried out for the Defense Force and they did not pass the entry examination, say for example, the physical, once there is another perhaps opportunity to another advertisement to enter the Defense Force, would they be given another chance?
Definitely. You can try as long as your age allows for it to try. So even if you didn't succeed in the first instance while you're 17, even when you're 23 and you say, all right, let me try again, at 23 you could go again.
Okay, thank you.
And I understand that in the Defense Force you retire early. Can you shed some light on that? Well, when I say early, you retire earlier than the traditional public servant.
Yeah.
Right? Can you shed some light on that and probably state why that is so?
I see this being a common question, so I think I'll include it in my presentation for the next one. But so for instance, you go at different ranks, you go home, right? So if you don't get promoted to a particular rank that allows you extra time, you go home a particular time. So for instance, at my current rank as a lieutenant, and the rank above this, which is a lieutenant commander, we go home at 47, right? For a petty officer or a sergeant or a staff sergeant, they will go home at 47 as well. For a a junior rank up to a leading seaman, they will go home at 45. Above the rank of a petty officer, a lieutenant commander, will be commander, they go home at 50. A captain goes home at 55. The oldest an enlisted rank person could go home at is 50. No matter how far they reach in rank, if they are chief, petty officer, or warrant 2, or warrant 1, or a fleet, they go home at 50, no matter what. But I mean, the Defense Force isn't how to put it? You can't make a career in the Defense Force, right? But that age is also the retirement age is also given to you for you to re-establish yourself into the civilian world. So for instance, we have something called resettlement. That is what's call it? It is something that is given to each person within the Defense Force after 12 years to do a field of study for 2 years prior to you leaving the organization, which is like a reintegration into civilian society prior to, before you leave, the Defense Force.
I am so thankful to you, sir, for spending some time with us. I was just looking at the clock and realized that we are out of time. So on behalf of the principals and the Student Support Services Division of Victoria Educational District and the students, I want to thank you for taking the time and to share with us the requirements and a little bit glimpse into the life of being a member of the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force. We really appreciate the information, and I'm very certain that some of the students who were listening would have benefited and getting ready once they pass their subjects to be part of your next enlistment. So thank you very much, sir, and I wish you all the best.
No problem. Thank you very much for having me, and I enjoyed the session, and I think I have 2 more sessions tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, sir.
Right. Have a good afternoon.
Students, we move right along into our final session for the day. We really want to thank Lieutenant Manswell for sharing with us on the Defense Force. And at this time, we make way for Dr. Nigel Fulchan and his team from the School of Business and Computer Sciences.
Done. Sorry, wrong. No, it's supposed to be SCBS. Nigel Fulchan is supposed to be on the Form 6 platform.
Oh, okay. I am sorry. So who? Right. So it's Dr. Maharaj, Robin Maharaj?
That's correct.
Okay, are they on?
Melissa Edwards is.
Melissa Edwards.
Yes.
Okay, all right.
There are a couple of people there from SBCS.
Yes. Right. So I'm seeing Miss Melissa Edwards and her team. And they're from SBCS, School of Business and Computer Sciences. So I make way at this time for Miss Edwards and her team to share with you students the wonderful opportunities, the various programs that can be had if you choose to study at the School of Business and Computer Sciences. Ms. Edwards, the mic is now yours.
Right. Okay. Hi, Mr. Roberts. Yeah, I'm part of the team here. My name is Navin Lalan.
Yes,
right,
sir.
and I am representing the SBCS Global Learning Institute. Well, as you mentioned, yeah, we have a few of our colleagues here. Melissa Edwards, she is part of the accounting, the ATEC department. We have, I think, Aziza Abdul there as well. She is in charge of the business and purchasing and supply. And we should have any second, Mr. Keston Chandler, and he will be part of the computing engineering programs, and Renee Ashman from media and graphics. So today really it's just about sharing a brief presentation here with the students. Basically, it's an overview of why to choose SBCS. This month actually marks our 34th anniversary. So the presentation includes a short message from the Executive Director, Dr. Robin Maraj. We will also cover a bit top reasons why to study online with SBCS. We know since the pandemic, this has become a norm. We have been quite accustomed with the online, over the last 5 to 7 years, we have been teaching to a worldwide audience. That's our, from the Edinburgh Business School, the MBA program. So we could share a bit on that as well. Also, we'll cover an overview of the programs we offer, ranging quite a wide range from accounting to business, computing, engineering, health and safety, not to forget media and design. So I see Renee and Reshmi is here as well. They are part of the team. A brief video as well on how to register with us at SBCS. There's also a clip on the past graduation. I believe it's from 2017 graduation. So we trying to include all the aspects to show the students an overview of what to expect from initiation to the graduation ceremony. And we'll have our basic contact information as well. And after that, I know there's the Q&A section. So without further ado, I would share my screen, start the presentation, and then we can take it from there with the questions.
I'm delighted to have the opportunity to communicate to you, our valued stakeholders, today on our 34th anniversary. Over the past 3 decades and 4 years, we have influenced and shaped the lives of many thousands of students. And nothing still equates to the joy that we feel on learning about the successes of our graduates. It has been and continues to be a true honor and privilege to serve the national and regional community. The pandemic has ushered in a new chapter in the SBCS GLI story. The vast majority of our courses are now being taught either via highly interactive live online classes or blended learning. Up to this point in time, the feedback from our students, lecturers, and course administrators has been extremely positive. We are still shaping and influencing lives, so our technology is now playing a much more important role in delivering our services to our students. The educational landscape is being radically altered, if not upended. And no one can say with any degree of certainty what form the new environment will take in the future. Over the past few years, there have been a few notable turning points in our story. From pre-GATE to the GATE era, to no-GATE and pre-pandemic era, to no-GATE and pandemic era. The post-pandemic era approaches, and it goes without saying that educational institutions will have to adapt and transform to suit the needs of this new world that is taking shape before us. In 1987, we were known as School of Business and Computer Science. However, today we are known as SBCS Global Learning Institute. This change in our title has not affected the underlying philosophy of our existence. However, it has brought our title in line with our expansion to the many areas outside of the sphere of business and computer science. Today, SBCS GLI is known for its variety of courses in a wide array of areas such as business, accounting, IT, engineering, graphic design, mass communication, health and safety, public health, electrical installation, plumbing, AC and refrigeration, auto mechanics, hybrid and electric vehicles, agriculture, nutrition and wellness, early childhood education, psychology, and more. In addition, leveraging our expertise in hybrid and electric vehicle technology, we have established at our Champlain campus a fully equipped hybrid and EV service facilities. A great many changes have taken place since 1987, and while the next chapter of the SBCS GLI story is still to be written, we can promise you, our valued stakeholders, that we are as committed as we were 34 years ago at the beginning of our story to delivering an excellent service, be it in the form of great teaching and learning to our students or the services offered to our clients through our HEV facilities. Stay safe and keep well.
Right. Okay. Thanks, guys. Well, as you would see there, that was a very quick overview of what we offer, displaying the pathways from CSEC or even A levels to your degree or master's program. You had a look at the campus there, what we offer, some of our facilities. The career fair was there as well. Usually we have, this is an annual event. I mean, of course, because of the recent pandemic and so on, we were unable, but this is something that we have annually to assist the students with employment opportunities and, get familiar with the workplace and so on. And there was also a brief video of the graduation. So what to expect at the end and, why, pursue these relevant degrees, what it's worth in the end. So, I mean, we have the entire team here. I'm not sure if any questions or you'd like us to explain further on any of the programs. So I'll pass over to to Aziza Abdul as well, and the moderator. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you again. It was very impressive to see that video of the graduating students. Always very, very impressive. The culmination of hard work.
Correct.
And I want to thank you. I want to ask this question. There are many institutions, many tertiary level institutions out there offering different programs.
Right.
Can you say to the students, why choose SBCS?
Right. Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, besides the similarity of having the UK, global degree, our facilities is, one to speak of in terms of the programs as well. We don't only concentrate on the academic aspect, but also the vocational. So meaning a number of even with our engineering and even the business computing involves that hands-on in its respective fields. So that is one of the main points that makes us, quite different. The facilities, we also have what would be different from some universities or the larger universities like UE and so on. We have a lot smaller classes. So you get, direct, almost a one-on-one interaction with the lecturer and the support team. Our administrators as well are quite, they're well trained and able to answer. And you also get that support from the UK as well regarding your submissions and, further support as well.
Okay. Fees. Right. Now, tell us about your fee structure. Are you GATE approved? And how can students finance their education at SBCS?
Right. Okay. Well, unfortunately, all private tertiary institutions are not GATE approved. But what we have done, we have rigorous payment plans. We have a lot of key relationships with the banking fraternities, and we don't leave that up to the student. We aid in that support as well that is required. The fees for the relevant degrees and so on are mainly local, but there are the foreign fees as well for exams, and I know some of the team members may want to elaborate on that as well. But definitely, we have the support there, and with the other benefits, one of the reasons to continue with SBCS. I'm not sure if any of the teammates would like to share on the fees and so on as well.
So I can elaborate a little more on the fees. So within most of our programs, we have a joint of local fees and foreign fees. So you'll have local tuition fees to pay, and you may have membership fees with your international university or body, whether it be ABE, maybe the University of Sunderland, etc. So it depends on what program you're at. You may have some fees to pay to that body. However, as Navin mentioned, we do give really reasonable and flexible payment options. We are willing to work with our students to make this experience, especially during this time, still favorable and still, something that you can achieve.
Okay.
Okay, so a student want to know what are the requirements for psychology in SBCS, and what are the CSEC subjects? What CSEC subjects are required, and if they need CAPE also?
Yes, well, with the psychology, I think that is actually one of our short courses. So that is one where you could sign up there with your CSEC passes. You could sign up for that particular short course. It's not actually a degree or master's program in that field, but it's actually a professional development course in psychology.
And the business, what subjects is required to do the business courses?
All right, I'll let Aziza share that.
Yeah. So to do the business courses, we have different programs that you can start off from CXE. So if it is you have at least 4 CSEC classes inclusive of maths and English as the main requirement for the business programs, our diploma in applied business studies. And it's also the entry requirement for our ABE level 4 diploma.
Okay, someone would also like to know what information you can give them concerning computer science.
So for computer science, we also, well, to start off would be the same 4 CSEC classes inclusive of maths and English. And we also require a science subject. This is for entry into our diploma in computing. And then upon completion of that program, you move on to our higher national diploma in computing from Pearson, as the awarding body. And then you could move on to the degree. So there's a pathway that you have for all of our programs. It's not just one program that you do, and each program you do is a standalone qualification in itself. So you would start off with the diploma in computing, then move on to the higher national diploma in computing, and then you go into the BSc in computing and information systems from the University of Greenwich.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Hi, I have a question. I know earlier that it was highlighted that because of challenges that students may have in terms of payment and so, there might be some support. Can you give some further details into that for students who may be interested in attending? What kind of support can they access to help with that challenge?
Well, yes. So, I mean, even with the pandemic, we have seen, some of the obvious struggles and so on. And in terms of the payment plans, it's very flexible. I mean, it's not a one structure type payment plan. We try to be as flexible as possible, in meaning we will discuss one-on-one with that, relevant student, what they are capable of at this time. I mean, and also with the banks, we have with Royal Bank and a few others as well, special rates that can be obtained in terms of, if that is the route that the student may pursue in terms of having to take, a loan for a particular semester or something like that. But, we try our best with these loan facilities and the actual payment plans to be accommodating to the students.
Okay, and thank you very much, Mr. Lala. One more question. In terms of students who might be interested in the business aspects of the school, in terms of those who want to be accountants, does the school offer ACCA accreditation?
Right, yes. I'll pass you over to Melissa Edwards. Yeah.
Hi, good afternoon. All right, so ACCA accreditation, yes, we offer the ACCA program as well as the Foundations in Accountancy program. Students who have completed CSEC, they should start at the Foundations in Accountancy and then progress into ACCA.
Thank you.
You're most welcome.
With that ACCA accreditation training, how long does it take to move up? You say you start with the foundation course and move up.
Right.
Oh.
So the foundation papers, it's a year and a half, 18 months. We also have students who may desire to do it in a faster time. Once you're able to pass the exams, then all well and good. You can move on.
Okay, Ms. Abdul, the student would like you to repeat what you said about the business, please.
Sure, no problem. So the pathway for the business would be the entry requirements are 4 CSEC passes, inclusive of maths and English. And then you start with our diploma in applied business studies. And upon completion, you move on to our ABE level 5 diploma. And then you move on to our degree from University of Sunderland. The BA in business management. We also offer the BA in business and marketing and the BA in business and HR.
Okay, do you all offer music classes?
No, unfortunately, we don't offer any music classes.
Okay, somebody wanted to know, is there any specific requirements, for example, science subjects, and can you take more than one class at the same time?
In terms of the science subject for the computing, no, we just specify a science subject. So it could be any science subject that you would have completed. Could you repeat the second part of the question? Sorry.
Okay, so was any specific subject requirements, for example, science subject, and can you take more than one classes at the same time?
Yes, you can. So once there's no clash in the schedule or the timetable for the program, you can take multiple classes.
There's a question, but I'm not sure in relation to what, but they're wondering how many years it take at your school, I guess, with the different courses that you offer in programs. They're wondering what is the average completion time for it.
So for the business program, roughly, if you come out of CXC, it could take you 3 years to get your degree. That is, if it is you pursue all programs straight full time, you will be able to complete in 3 years.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Very, very interesting. You know, sometimes as you move around, and those of us in education, you see, you know about different institutions, but you don't pay attention all the time to the details in the institution. And from what I'm hearing here this afternoon, you guys are doing some fine work up at SBCS, and I want to congratulate you.
Mr. Roberts, I have one more question.
I'm saying yes, go ahead, please.
Yes. In this time where we are still battling the pandemic, and a lot of students would have seen their parents either lose their job or have had a significant cut in salary, and they may have been considering tertiary education on the whole, and not maybe a specific institution, but they may be thinking to themselves, perhaps they may just, bypass that and go and perhaps get a job, and they may try to think to themselves that might be the better solution. Can you speak to that struggle that a student may be having, and perhaps give your perspective that they may consider as they make this kind of decision? Because this is a Form 5 class, that the Zoom room is catered to them, so they may have that battle in their minds.
Right. Yes, we do understand. Yes, it's quite a struggle for many, if not all individuals throughout different aspects and so on. But in terms of starting to work as well, we always encourage the students to it's always good to to pursue these academic programs as well. I mean, if the choice is you have to work as well, I mean, we are flexible. We have the part-time pathways as well, and we could understand that that plight in terms of having to basically fund your own your studies and so on during this time. But also what we do, we have a number of for those that are a bit unsure, we have a number of practical professional development courses in a range of fields in engineering and other areas that may not be too familiar. We do a lot in welding, just mentioning some other avenues here: plumbing, AC repairs, solar, hybrid repairs as well are becoming very popular, fiber optics. So if a student is not certain that they want to pursue the degree immediately, there are other avenues that would make you equally viable, in today's market, because we see one of the main differences with us is that we try to, as I mentioned, they include the vocational aspect in all of our programs, be it the degrees or the short courses. So we try to give the students as much hands-on, even in the business, in the HND. That program involves a lot of it's assignment based as well as exams, but it's not strictly theoretical. You have a lot of research assignments in the computing as well. You do actual building of websites from basic to to the more experienced levels as well. So I mean, there's we have our representatives available as well. We'll share the information. If any student wishes to discuss further, their part or what we can, where we can support them, we'll do our very best.
I really appreciated that feedback, Mr. Lalan, because I was not aware of the vocational aspect of SPCS. I know, especially when you spoke to things such as the hybrid element, I didn't recognize that, SPCS had that element. And you're right, students who may at this time be unable to pursue perhaps 3 years or so in tertiary education, they can take those short courses and then equip themselves to get employed, that they can pursue their degree at a part-time basis. So I really appreciated that feedback a whole lot. In terms of students who are saying, okay, they are in Form 5 now, they would like to register for SPCS, can you just give some information that they can then know how they can go about registering for SPCS, whether it be a short-term course or whether for the longer programs?
Right. I mean, well, the first step, they could send us an email at study@sbcs.edu.tt, or they could visit the website www.sbcs.edu.tt. And on the website as well, we have all the contact information. But once they send us in, well, we're interested in business, or they could review the website as well, and whatever they see there, they could just shoot us an email, and we will have someone contact them at least within 24 hours, to share that information, share all the details, and on the web page as well, all the information in terms of entry requirements, payment, costing as well, it's more or less there as well.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lannon. One final question before I hand over to the moderator. In terms of any social media pages, is SPCS present on social media like Facebook and Instagram and that kind of a thing?
Right. Yeah, definitely on all the social platforms, Facebook, I think it's just SBCS GLI, and Instagram, Twitter as well. We have the our YouTube account as well, where we have a lot of videos. This is a nice resource for the students from past alumni and where they are now in terms of the workplace, what they have achieved. And you would see what we try to do is showcase as many of our alumni as possible, because they, in many or if most cases, they hold very excellent jobs after pursuing all the relevant programs here at SBCS. So that's something we always do, include new videos, fresh videos on a yearly basis of students as well. That's on the YouTube channel. I think once they search SBCS Global Learning Institute, these on all social media platforms, we will appear.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Lalan.
No problem.
Okay, as we get ready to wrap up, I'll give you, sir, an opportunity to make a final pitch to the students. Now, I'm seeing 3 questions that students ask, somewhat to repeat, but I will give it to you nonetheless. One student asks about electrical installation. Specifically, right. Do you do electrical installation? Your various locations, and to just repeat about your part-time and full-time programs and make your final pitch to the students, please.
Right. Yes, definitely. I know Reshmi is here. She could just share some quick info. We do have the electrical installation.
Hi, afternoon.
Yeah.
So we have a certificate in basic electrical installation. This is for starters. It's a more practical aspect. It deals with like residential. We also have like people who want to like go in a wider, broad aspect. Like if they want to get their wireman license, we also offer SPCS, a short certificate in advanced electrical installation. This can be completed in 1 year as well. And once you complete this qualification, you can visit the electorate board and apply for your wireman license as well.
Wow.
And you're also getting your certificate from City and Guilds as well.
Well, that's fantastic. Oh, very good.
Yeah.
And the electrical installation, is that done part-time as well, or that's a full-time program?
It's only done part-time. So it's like 2 days for the week, like let's say Tuesday, Thursday, 5:30 to 8:30 p.m. On one day, it would have the theory classes, and one day it will have practical sessions on campus.
Wow. So in 1 year, a student can gain sufficient competencies and knowledge to apply to the electrical inspectorate to get their license, the wireman license.
Correct. And with this same qualification, they can also enter our level 5 higher national diploma in electrical and electronic engineering or mechanical engineering as well. It's a level 5 qualification, which is 2 years long.
Wow. Well, there you have it, students.
Mr. Roberts, let me ask a question for a student, please.
Sure.
They would like to know what you suggest or recommend to easily go about obtaining necessary business documents for starting any business or company.
Yeah, so the documents for that, well, that one, I mean, we'll just have to, we have the courses, I think, starting your own business, entrepreneurship, and so on. But we may just have to provide some further feedback into the exact, requirements. I don't want to say, give information. We may not have everything on hand as well. But we have those courses as well readily available here from experienced lecturers as well. And I know one of the questions was part-time and full-time. Well, all of the relevant portfolios from business, take it straight to media, engineering, accounting. We have, both the full-time aspect available, meaning during the day, and we have the part-time options available. At this time, the majority, it's online, but where necessary, we have the blended options in terms of the practical sessions on campus at the Champlain or even the Trin City campus.
Okay, one more. So the students who had asked about the length of time it takes, the person said they were referring specifically to the business course. How long, how many years it takes?
Right.
Okay, so the business course, the Diploma in Applied Business Studies is 1 year. The AB Level 5 diploma can take you 1 year, and the top-up degree could take you 1 year as well. So that will be 3 years in total from CSEC to get your degree.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
How many campuses do you have and where are they located?
Right. So I mean, at this time, we because of all the changes with the pandemic and so on, the main campus will be at the Champlain campus. This is close to the Mount Hope Hospital. And we also have the Trin City campus, where it currently runs the media and graphics programs. So those are our two main campuses located, Champlain and in the Trin City location as well.
Thank you.
All right. Okay. Well, I am so grateful for the information shared this afternoon. I was really, I was impressed with a lot of what was said, but I was really taken aback by learning that someone can do the electrical installation training at your institution. And after 1 year, once you pass the relevant exams and so forth, you are sufficiently qualified to apply for your wireman's license. That is great news. And I want to congratulate you for the work done at SPCS. And I want to encourage the students that are online to please visit the website, visit the Facebook page, and more than that, if there are any additional questions that you have, that you feel free to send them an email or even speak to your resident guidance officer and they can get more information to you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much to the representatives.
Yes.
No
problem. Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks very much. And students, that brings us to the end of today's session. I want to thank you for being online and for participating, for paying attention, and for asking all those wonderful, relevant questions. We look forward to meeting with you tomorrow, please God, where we have School of Nursing, the Ministry of Labor, the University of the Southern Caribbean, and Tobago Hospitality and Tourism Institute. Wonderful institutions, all geared to helping all of you make that right decision as you begin to transition from secondary school into the wide and wonderful world of work. So again, thanks to all of the presenters today. Thanks to my colleagues, the guidance officers that are on. Thanks to teachers and the principals, and to you students. I hope that today's experience was beneficial, and I look forward to meeting with you tomorrow, please God, at 1 p.m. Once again, please encourage all of your colleagues, your classmates, Form 5, Form 4, to join with us so that they too can benefit from this wonderful experience. So until we meet again, God bless and have a wonderful afternoon.